All right, everybody, welcome to episode 15, which means we are halfway through our 30 days of Marvel Rivals education series. I just wanted to say thank you so much for everybody who's joined me for this journey. The reception that I've seen for this series has been unlike anything that I've ever seen, and I really want to do more series like this in the future and help you guys out as much as possible. So guys, I'm recording this during a thunderstorm and lightning just struck very close to my house. Wow, I don't know if you that picked up on the mic, but I hope it did, kind of. But anyways, today's topic is going to be about ultimate discipline, how to hold your ultimate without panic, because the amount of times that I've seen people panic ultimate just because they have it, no. Today we're going to be talking about how you can get a stronger discipline so that you don't need to worry about that. So if you're pressing Q the second the fight starts, I'm telling you, you're probably wasting value. So today we're going to be going over when and what is the right time to use that. So basically, what is ultimate discipline? It's basically knowing when not to use your ultimate is almost just as important as knowing when to use it. So it's a very fine line, and it's the kind of thing where when you're in the right moment, you will know. So basically, ultimates are momentum changers. Use them strategically, not emotionally, if that makes sense. I think one thing that we've really kind of put together for this channel and for this series is stop using your emotions in this game. Like, yeah, bro, be emotional and all that stuff, but don't let them dictate you, because emotions are one of those things that kind of get you into that little area where you're starting to get tilted and stuff like that. So we're kind of trying to like bring those back a little bit and think more strategically, think more logically, think like a Vulcan, basically. So a well-timed ultimate can be a game saver, but a panic ultimate can throw a fight. Never forget that. That is a very, very important thing to know. So here are a few signs that you're panicking with your ultimate. Number one, quick and easy, is using it the moment the enemy walks into view. You're basically like a goldfish at that point, and you don't want to be a goldfish, right? Basically, if you do that, you are going to be wasting your ultimate. Even if they do show up and you get a few eliminations, so what? Like, if they just got there, okay, well then you saved congrats, you saved your team like 15 seconds on the clock, compared to if you're using it mid-fight or when an opportunity presents itself a little bit into the fight, whereas the enemy team wastes more like a minute instead, if that makes sense. It's all about wasting that time for the enemy whenever you get that moment, you know what I mean? So blowing an ultimate as well with no follow-up or support nearby, basically that's those 1v6 ultimates that you see. That's a huge panic ult, and you don't want to do that, right? Popping it just because you're low health as well, I've seen that. Like, people think that just because you use your ultimate you're going to shoot right back up to full health. That's not how that works, unless you're a support ultimate. But even so, if you're on like a tank or a DPS and you panic ult because you're like, well, I'm about to die anyway, you're kind of wasting it, and you're not going to really be able to use it next fight when you're alive again. Also, ulting in just to disengage enemies or losing fights, if you've already lost the fight, if like 3 of your teammates are already down, and if you're not one of those ultimates that like can get an entire team wipe, why are you doing it? Honestly, like save that for next fight when you have a full team. That way you have some backup, that way you have some other people to help you. That's when to do it. So a big thing is, when should you hold your ultimate? When your team has the numbers advantage already. If you're already in a situation where you're up 4v6 or 6v4 or 6v3, something like that, and your team's already winning, there's no need to use your ultimate right there. Ultimates are one of those things where they're good to break the tie, not to kind of dig the enemy's face in it. Unless, I mean, like, you're at the end of the match and then like, yeah, sure, like, go ahead, clean it up. Like, I get it. But if you're in the middle of the match and you're still fighting the enemy team and there's still plenty of time left, guys, try not to waste that ultimate when you already have basically won the fight, more or less. Or if the enemy just blew like 2 to 3 ultimate of their own, like, save it for the next fight. Like, if you've already lost the fight and if your enemy is mostly down already, save that ultimate. Like, there's no need to use it. Or if you're against like mobile heroes that can dodge it, like, I love Moon Knight, he's my favorite character in the game, but I would never go to ult like a Spider-Man or a Black Panther or any character that has insane movement, because they'll just walk out of it. You know what I mean? So you don't really want to do that. Or if you know that a bigger fight is coming up at the next objective, if you see that, hey, there's like a minute left on the clock, you can't build your ult up in time for that last fight, hold it. If you can hold it and keep them at bay by like 15, 20, 30 seconds, if you can do that, you could save it for last fight territory. And that is the time to use your ultimate, because that is when it comes in clutch. And that is the time when it is make or break and you win those matches. So how do you build ultimate discipline? Basically, what you want to do is you want to track value, not cooldowns. Ask, what do I get from this ultimate right now? Do I get a bunch of eliminations? Do I save time? Do I save my team? It's things like that. So if you start thinking more like that instead of like, oh, ultimate, boom, then you'll be able to get that value and you'll be able to understand what your ultimate really is and what it is there to do. Some ultimates are meant to kind of reset team fights, like support ultimates or even certain tank ultimates. They're good to reset the fight. Other ones are good to end the fight, like DPS ones. So ask yourself, what is my ultimate and what does it do? Like, what is the essence of my ultimate? Think in terms of fight pacing, basically. The first wave of a fight usually is like poke. So it's like, oh, we're kind of like engaging, we're feeling out the other team, seeing where they're at. The second wave is kind of their burst combo, right? So that's when they kind of start to commit some cooldowns. That's when they're trying to maybe get an elimination or two. The ults often win the second wave, not the opener. So try and think of that from now on. If you ult during the poke wave, then you're just gonna be like, okay, the enemy team's just gonna back up slightly because you're not close enough to make that progress really count, if that makes sense. And one thing that I firmly believe in, that I will say every single time, is combo your ultimates with your team. Or if there's nothing to combo with, communicate to your team that you're going to ultimate. Be like, hey, I'm about to ult, like, can I get some follow-up or something like that? Because if you do that with your team, they'll be able to help you, whether it's the supports healing you as you go in, whether it's the other DPS pumping out damage to help you, or the tanks to give you cover, or even pump out a little bit more damage as well. So try and coordinate with your team. If you do that, you will have a lot more success with your ultimate. Just remind yourself, yesterday's episode was a huge example of this. Just remind yourself, you don't really need to be the hero in every single team fight. You know what I mean? So if somebody else gets a team wipe on your team, that's a W. No need to get upset because somebody else got all the credit for it. Like, guys, you still, like, this is a team-based game. There's no I in team. So you're not going to be the hero every single fight. So just think of that, because I feel like a lot of people kind of don't really like that, and a lot of the people don't really keep that in mind. So here is a level of examples for ultimate discipline as well. So basically, if I've got my Storm ultimate, right? Storm is one of those characters that has a high burst ultimate, but at the end of the day, her ultimate without the team up of Human Torch can be healed through if you have any kind of healing ult. So Storm is basically holding, if she holds her ultimate while she knows that the enemy team and the enemy supports still have ultimate, either she's going to do one of two things when she ults, when she knows that the enemy team has support ultimates. She's going to do one of two things. Either she's going to draw out a support ult, that way somebody else can use an ultimate in your fight to, without the worry of a support ultimate going off, or the support on the other team is going to panic, not use their ultimate, and Storm is most likely going to get a team fight win because of that. So it's things like that where you just kind of want examples for, you know, do you hold your ultimate? Do you spam it the second you get it? Or a big way that I've seen ultimate discipline is from Scarlet Witch. I like to play Scarlet Witch, and I feel like there's a lot of good Scarlet Witch players out there. That being said, she does have a little bit of a stigma, and, you know, she has that, you know, little thing where she doesn't need to aim too much, and I get that. But that being said, she does require a lot of mobility and a lot of game awareness as far as positioning and everything. So for Scarlet Witch as well, a very good example for her ultimate and ultimate discipline is if the second she gets ultimate, she uses it. Let's be honest, in most elos, in most ranks, you are most likely going to either get 0 eliminations because everybody's just going to walk behind cover, or you're going to get interrupted. That's usually what happens. But If you think of it like this, the way that I've been using my ultimates lately with Scarlet Witch is when I see an allied support ultimate go out, I usually use my ultimate then, because that's when your team gets a little bit aggressive. They can help you out, and the amount of healing that's getting pumped out, you can't get bursted down. So that's when you use it, because, and then, so what you want to do is you want to wait for your support ultimate. And if you do that, then you're pretty much invincible in your ultimate unless you get interrupted, and you will most likely either be able to break all the barriers there that the enemy has, that way your team can push through, or you'll get an elimination or two, or on the off chance you just might not get an elimination. Like, that happens too. Like, it happens all the time. So just think of that. It's situations like that where you just want to be a little bit more disciplined, because if you throw your ultimate out the second you get it, you most likely will not have the right opportunity. I mean, sometimes you will, and that's completely fine. I will not say that that's wrong, but most of the time, in my opinion, I just don't think that you will have the correct opportunity. So just know about it. Just the best way for me to explain this is good players know how to ult. Great players know when not to ult, if that makes sense. So don't just throw it out because you have it. Discipline wins more fights than desperation ever will. I promise you that. So guys, I just want to say thank you so much. You guys know that I really appreciate you guys being here. Like I've said it every single video. I can't put it into words enough. It's genuine. It's from the heart. I really appreciate you guys watching these videos, subscribing to the channel, liking these videos. It's a dream come true. So thank you guys so much. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys on the next video. Later.